This is the kind of movement that I need in my 2D Kirby games. Just recently, I decided to dive into the world of fan games, and what better franchise to start off with than Kirby? Besides Sonic. Sonic's got a lot of fan games. Kirby's Wacky Episode. Ever since I saw one snippet, one inkling, about 3 seconds of footage, I said to myself, I have to play that game. And it did not disappoint. The physics feel faster, but they are nice. The controls are tight and responsive, and there's a few new improvements on the movement options that Kirby has access to. You have the slide, which works like a normal slide from the modern Kirby games. You can roll out of the slide, which gives you a bit of extra distance. Your momentum will stop after the roll unless you jump while rolling. And once you land from a roll jump, you keep all of your full dash momentum. You can press down and jump on a wall to slide up it. If Kirby reaches the top of the wall and there's a ledge, he'll flip over the ledge and keep going at a dash speed. I never thought I'd be talking about momentum in a Kirby game, but the movement of this game just has a flow to it that's just so good when you can execute it well. You can press down and jump in the air to do a roll jump in the air, and you can also press shield while airborne to fast fall. Using all of the movement options in tandem adds another floor of skill that rewards the player with a hectic high-speed experience. Also, the dash jump animation looks like a flutter jump, and it's just really fitting for Kirby. Not only is base Kirby fun to play and move around with, all of his copy abilities have more mobility options, which is always a plus. We enjoy that. What is not a plus though is that there's only 5 different copy abilities: Sword, Icy Sword, Cutter, Fire, and Hammer. It's a crying shame because the abilities have added skills and differences that make the flowing gameplay so seamless. All of them are snappy and just a delight to use. Seriously, I've never had fun with the sword ability ever in any of the games, except maybe Kirby Superstar Ultra. And there's 2 of them in this game that are similar but functionally very different. Icy Sword plays more like the sword from Kirby Superstar Ultra and Kirby Superstar, with the little hop before the rapid jab, and the normal sword plays like the Game Boy Advance version of Sword. There's a few other differences, like the Rising Slash from Sword going higher than the Rising Slash from Icy Sword, but Icy Sword having Blizzard Counter. No puns intended, Blizzard Counter is just such a cool move. You essentially parry an incoming attack and shoot out an ice tornado. It's nuts. I won't go over every change of the copy abilities, but using all 5 is worth your time. Side note, you don't have to inhale an ability star, you can just touch it. Also, you can switch between 2 abilities you collect and use them in combination with one another. Not only does the game feel good to play, but it looks good too. There's not a lot of custom sprites here, but they chose the Game Boy Advance Kirby sprites art style. You know, the one that shows up in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror? And Squeak Squad for the DS. Rainbow is the new name for the invincibility and it looks awesome. Since the mobility of Kirby is buffed in this game, and crashing into enemies extends its duration, Rainbow was the most fun I had using invincibility in a Kirby game. The sad part is, only one of them shows up because the game's so short. There are collectibles though, in the form of these hearts that unlock new stages. One of them in particular is tricky to find, but the game gives off a chime if you enter a room with an unclaimed heart, so that was very generous on the developer. Some of them are puzzles, and that's fun. Okay. I'm an idiot. Each stage also has a certain number of stars that can be collected, and at the end you win a trophy from a treasure chest. Collect all of the trophies and you get a nice reward. There are 6 bosses in the game. You got your Wispy Woods and your DDD, but there's other stuff in here too. All of the bosses are fun to play. So I personally enjoyed beating up Twin Woods, but that's a constant in any game that Twin Woods appears in. The biggest nitpick I have with the game is that it is just far too short. It feels more like a demo than anything, but I respect the creators' wishes to end it where they did. Not only that, but they were generous enough to open source the code for other people to build on top of the engine. And that's pretty cool. I would say Kirby Wacky Episode is worth your time. And as the first Kirby fan game platformer I've ever played, the gameplay alone is one of my favorite of the 2D titles.